I think, yeah, it should have started. Well, I
Oh
mean,
no.
how's it? Checking some angles again. I mean, it's a better way to come in to check some angles than previous times. It's been a good,
Without a doubt.
it's been a good few weeks. Confidence building, I think, but also just shows how open this whole World Cup situation is going to be. Upsets are
Absolutely.
plenty, probably. I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely. And what better way to check all the angles than on the back of a record win against New Zealand? Again, I might have mentioned this in passing, but some of us were lucky enough to be there.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I've told you the whole story, or it could have been on that phone call the next day. But, Brew, we literally left the stadium probably within like an hour of the game. And then we were stuck in like a kilometer and a half, 2K line to Twickenham Stadium, just rammed with South Africans. And,
Yeah, that's, I mean,
for like 2
what I,
hours in that line.
as you mentioned, the atmosphere was electric. It was pretty much like watching a home game. So
Absolutely.
that's quite insane if you think about it.
Yeah.
You also
80,000 people, and 70,000 of them, I think, were South African, comfortably.
I mean, that's massive. And I mean, that's one thing that you also think, taking into account this World Cup being in Europe, there's a lot of people that'll be traveling from England and those places to go watch. So maybe we'll see a bit of support, which would be lovely,
I didn't
I
actually
think.
think about that. I think we've got a lot of South African expats in Netherlands, a lot of Dutchies. So maybe they'll be venturing over to France and checking the boys do the business. That's a very
You
good
know,
point, actually.
some Ballyfoo Francais and such, bro. I don't know.
So you haven't told me the full story now, but I think just so those 10 to 15 lucky few that tune into these videos know what's the plan with this background? How did you manage to get it going? Because I think we've just stepped into the next level of production.
Well, I mean, it's literally you just add a background on your Zoom, but it needs to be a certain size, and the size works. So, yeah, and I mean now you don't have to see the back of the house, because I
Uh,
was quite lazy with my positioning tonight. I took the most comfortable seating option. So
are you
yeah,
are you indoor or outside?
no, still outside, definitely
Uh,
outside. Still a lovely spring night. Haven't seen the sun for 4 days, I think, though. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll kick in soon.
Nice. Well, on to some ruggers. I think we said we'd just have a little debrief on that All Black game. I think we're not going to go into it like the guys on the breakdown. That breakdown on the breakdown was world class. But I think just some key points from my side. I mean, one, watching it in the stadium, like it's hard to put into words. That first probably 10 to 15 minutes of just sustained pressure, I was lucky enough that was literally right in front of us. And to see
Yeah,
the guys put
that's
in,
oh
yeah, to see the guys put in a shift, and just you could see on the All Black faces that I'm going to give them credit now, especially what's the eight's name? I forgot his name now.
Adi Savia.
Yeah, he was up for the defense, and he
No,
was throwing
100%.
himself
He's a tank,
around,
that.
big smiles on his face. But it always felt like we were going to crack them. It's just you could
Yeah,
see it was happening slowly
it was
but
a matter
surely.
of time.
Matter of time. Oh, well, one thing I will say was it took, and I think the ref had a really good game for the most part, but he gave a lot of leeway at the start there before he went to his pocket. I think I counted like 3 or 4 penalties in what you could call the red zone before he was willing to go to the pocket. And to me, yes, I said I didn't actually want to see a red card in that match. I wanted to see 15v15 for the most for the most of it. But All Blacks, there's rules for a reason, and they didn't adhere to them, and I think the yellow cards were warranted.
The thing that I always don't understand from your enforcer players like that, if you're already on a yellow card, why even take the risk? It's that absolutely gained them nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. I know you want to enforce some physicality and things. You've been on the back foot and things like that, but just with all the cameras around, someone's gonna see. Just take one on the chin and be like, okay, well, here's what it is. Let's keep working.
Yeah, we've all been there though. I think, I mean, in the heat of the moment, you're playing against the box side where you've got to actually be up for it physically. I think it is just a rush of blood. You see maybe a gap, chink in the armor, and you're looking to exploit it. And like you said, there's too many cameras around these days for you to go away from that without getting penalized. On that note, I sent you that picture. How's that stat with the Barretts being responsible for 33% of all Black red cards in history?
I mean, it's quite a stat, to be honest. Just shows you how good their discipline was in the last 105 odd years. I actually also saw a stat that in their 105-year history, in the last 5 years, they have conceded 66% of their total red cards.
Is it?
In the last 5 years.
That could be an indication of where the game is moving in terms of safety.
Also the leeway. There isn't much leeway anymore. You just don't get away with most things anymore. It's sometimes frustrating. I know there was a lot of talk about the time the game took again and things like that. But in saying that, a lot of it was to attend to some injuries and things like that. I mean, it is what it is. If you having a absolute physical onslaught and a brutal bash up front, I mean, there's going to be some sore bodies there. And
there's,
I mean, that first 20 minutes, I mean, kudos for the All Blacks for only conceding 7.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad to see that we actually went to just stay in that area.
Yeah.
Not take the 3 and just keep on sustaining pressure and keeping the foot on the pedal. Even if you got thwarted and all of that, you just keep on giving that slow poison, just making them make hits. No, 100%.
You could see. I mean, our backline, by the time they got the ball, they were always so fresh and raring to go, because especially that 9, 10, 12 channel, the velocity the ferocity that we were running those lines, it was taking its toll on the All Blacks. And you could see during the entire game, especially when we brought on the forwards, 7-1 split, which we'll get to now, it took its toll. Just on that note of player safety, now I just want to laugh at a sport they say is harder than rugby. So if you just allow me a few seconds, check this new thing that they brought into NFL.
Why does your helmet have now got headgear on as well? Is that to take? Yeah, okay.
This is the clown world.
What extra help? It probably makes a small difference, but I mean,
your helmet needs a helmet.
What is that? Do you think it's just to make the helmet softer so that the impacts are somehow softer somehow?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's no.
When your helmet needs a helmet, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something needs a relook. But before we digress too far, tackle lower. Use your arms. I'm surprised Owen Farrell hasn't got like a tackling contract for the NFL yet.
pretty sure he'll work something in there.
Yeah, he can get something
retirement
after
somewhere.
his career. Yeah. But
Oh,
on the
wow.
All Black game, so first time in history we saw a 7-1 split. In my opinion, I don't think it'll be used in excess, but the fact that we can go to that that style of rugby, I want to use the right
Yeah.
word, that style of rugby, it's just another arrow to our quiver or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Um,
No, for sure.
Pacha gives us good versatility. I mean, if you want, you can stick him on the wing. And then, like I say, if you've got Damian Willemse on your side, you've got cover for 10,
All
12,
backline
14.
positions.
Yeah. And
All
then
backline positions.
I think with Colby on the side, you've got good cover at 9 as well. So then you really can play a versatility a back and
And then
you covered.
if you have Moody and Orense, they're also
Exactly.
completely interchangeable.
Yeah.
There's so many options. It'll be very interesting to see. I've seen a team release, but I don't have verified sources. Um, with pretty much going with more of the team selection that we did against the All Blacks. Trying some continuity, it looks like, but we'll
Yeah.
see if that materializes. It'll be very interesting to see exactly what team gets announced when we see the actual lineups coming out. Um, it'll be, yeah, I don't know how much change do you really want to make after a stunning performance.
Exactly.
I mean, it just looked like a gelled performance with no real big issues. There'll definitely be one or two things to work on still. You can never have the complete performance, the perfect performance. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not something that exists. And also taking into account some comments that were made by some media that that's the best that we can play. I don't think so. I think we left a few out there, but that was as complete as a performance we've had in 4 years, I would say.
Very close to, if not right up there. Just on that note, I think credit to Mani Labok. I think we have been calling out for a performance like this, a complete performance, and he stood up and he made it count. He was
I
sensational.
I don't know if I said this in the previous episode, but I'm pretty sure I did. I said, watch this Oak. Let's see what he does in the big pressure moments against the big teams when it really matters.
Yeah,
Now, people will say this was a warm up, but you could see with what we were doing, we wanted to make a statement.
yeah,
So, in that
absolutely.
sense, this was a high pressure game for us. I think we had more to lose than the All Blacks should we have lost.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was plenty to gain for the All Blacks. Look, we always want to beat the All Blacks. But as world champions, so close to the World Cup, it was important that we did it, and we did. So
Pretty much just throw down a gauntlet. Just
yeah,
say this is the standard that will be expected, which I
yeah,
think is perfect, which is a good thing in terms of this first game of the World Cup with the All Blacks taking on France. I think that is as good a test you're going to get before you start your campaign. So I think they will be battle hardened for this first game now. Um, After that, I think it's going to be a absolute firecracker.
yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
I think it's going to be entertainment galore. I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game at all.
Can what about this question now? After what we did to the All Blacks, say they go into Friday's game and they lose by 10, 15 points to France. Um, could you say that their World Cup is over before it's even started. Having
Not at all.
lost to South Africa quite emphatically, and then going on the back foot and losing against France in such quick succession.
If you can say that their World Cup is over after that, meaning they will still probably then finish second in the pool and have a quarterfinal against either South Africa or Ireland, and you think they're not going to be fired up for a quarterfinal, if you write them off, you do it at your own peril. They don't like losing. There has been chinks in the armor 100% in the last 4 years. We've seen that, but they'll be ready. They will definitely be ready. They normally get better the later the tournament goes on as well. So
wait, I just
mean,
wonder if
we've seen what happens when you lose your first game in a World Cup. You can turn it around and still bring the cup home. So by no means are they World Cup derailed if they lose.
that is true. But on that note, let's quickly let's have a look here. I enjoy commentary on commentary. So yeah, is the breakdown.
I cannot hear anything that is being said. I'll be very honest.
Can you not hear that?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Is it making the required sounds on your side?
Yeah, it is, but it's fine. I think it's because I've got to start the recording. But we'll just say to anyone that's watching, please, if you're not sure what we're talking about, go have a look at the breakdown and the meltdown of the breakdown.
It was quite interesting to watch, but I mean, you can take that into context as well. It was a record loss. It was a bit of shock. And we've done the same previously in the media and things like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. Everyone has a stinker every now and then. I mean, we had a 57-0 not too long ago as well. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Just to wrap up the All Black game now, my last thoughts are, I think it's so refreshing and reassuring to see the big players coming into good form when it matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some really,
and
really
the emergence of absolute talent.
Yeah.
Absolute talent that we've seen step up to the plate early on. That's all that you want.
Absolutely.
I mean, that shows that there is definitely still the right things happening all around in all of the systems from grassroots levels all the way up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, exciting times ahead.
Yeah,
The next exciting. 2 months are going to be quite filled, some would say.
And some would say stay tuned.
Yeah, there should be some more things coming through in the coming weeks. Seeing as you are now actually available as a human being, seeing as you were playing cricket, it sounds like, but I mean, for interesting stat, you're probably the first person in the history of the world to be dismissed.
We checked.
Second. Okay, well, I don't know. In terms of luck, you pretty much ran out because okay, well, if you're only the second person, that's terrible. But you were dismissed in 3 different games in a row in the same manner, correct?
Yes.
And the manner of dismissal was not one that is normally
common.
Seen very, it's not common at all. It's not seen that much, but it does happen. But you wouldn't think maybe 3 times in a row. Like, I mean, probably after the first time, you would just be like, should probably just stay put.
Yeah.
Just leave a bat in the crease. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you were dismissed 3 times in a row by getting run out at the bowler's end with a follow-through shot.
Yeah,
and a small touch of the bowler
yeah.
onto the stumps 3 times in
One
a row.
one of those things. Yeah.
How? Just
It's
how? I mean, how?
cricket as a sport is it's sadistic. That's how I'd put it. But we go again and we back stronger for the 2024 season. It's all about mindset.
Yeah, maybe just have the mindset of being more safe in your
Yeah.
approach to running between the wickets. It's one of the things most people would say is, but I mean,
Well,
each to their
next
own. Each to
next
their own.
next time I play cricket, hopefully we back to back world champions. So we'll see.
That would be nice. That would be
But
very, very nice.
but thank you for putting that bit of commentary out into the ether. Um, yeah,
I mean, it's you're the second person in the world in actual recorded cricket games that this happened to. That's insane. I
and
mean, when
two
you
of them
told me
are
that
actually
story,
two of them are on YouTube, I think.
that's even worse. I would have stopped by saying just yeah, it happened, and that's
So
done.
that's for when we get big, people
Oh.
can make a compilation.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Oh,
So
jeez.
All
Yeah.
Black game, I think we can safely say that's wrapped up now, and we take the
Yeah.
positives out of that, all the positives, and we get ready for Scotland first game.
First game, Scotland this Sunday. Woohoo. Big one.
Big one,
Absolute big
big
one.
one.
So I've seen in the media that a lot of the Oaks chatting about this is already the first final, um, which I think is
Ooh,
100%. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Oh, Chesa was talking about it in the media, and he's like, we have to treat this as a final already. Uh, in saying that, he's probably 100% correct because it's going to be a big game, and you don't want to put yourself under pressure with the group that we do have. We want to have that clean start and
we
get,
do.
even if it's just 4 points, you just want to get a win under the belt, start it off with, and try and secure your future in the tournament. Well, that's, yeah, or
No,
taking
no.
one step already into that situation. That's definitely what you want.
It's definitely a mindset that we've got to get to, and I think with Jacques and Rassi at the helm, they're very much mentality monsters, and I think
Yeah.
they're going to get the boys into the right space. So how we come out against Scotland is going to be crucial. Personally, if you ask me, I think if we get it right, we could probably put 30 on them. If we get it right, if we get it right,
Okay, yeah. If we get it wrong.
I'm just saying if we get it wrong, I think we can still win. I think we're good enough. But if we get it right, I think we can. There's enough in our squad now. I think we more than just a forward pack now. We've got
No, no, no,
outside
100.
backs.
No, definitely. No, 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 definitely. I just think there's going to be some jitters. You can tell me what you want. Your first game in a World Cup, there's always going to be some jitters. Yeah, we've got a very experienced group in terms of World Cups, pretty much, but still your first game. You know, you're defending champs. You're not coming in as underdogs this time. You've got to prove a
Yeah,
point, but you also want to be sure that you take the 4 home at least. Take the 4 into the next round. You
yeah,
don't want to you don't want to cause unnecessary additional pressure on yourself.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I think what we'll see will be more clinical goal kicking, hopefully. In saying that, I feel that we will go for the posts on more occasions. If we don't, and we do go the same tactic where we actually try and physically dominate them up front, I think it'll be an interesting ploy if we do that, because we're quite conservative normally at World Cups. So
We are.
it'll be very interesting to see what mindset they're going into this game with, and how they're actually going to deploy the tactics that they'll have.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the Scots they're a proud bunch. I mean, depth wise, we've got a lot now, and we've got our bases covered. We've got various ways to beat a team. It's not just one way to skin a cat. I think that's what the coaching staff have looked at over the last probably 2 years, I'd say. They
Oh
probably
yeah,
used the first 2 years of the cycle to blood some talent, and then the next 2 years to get various game plans and various players to fulfill those game plans. I don't think this 7-1 split was necessarily something they hadn't spoken about before. I know Villiers' injury was a late call, but I don't think it's something they haven't spoken about before. I think it's
probably not.
those two
But I mean,
over runners.
if
They
you have to
definitely
choose
have.
a team, you're not going like, yeah, 7-1, like there's zero risk involved with this. Let's just go. It's not, I don't think it's something that you consciously do and you're like, yeah, this is the preset plan. But I mean, I feel, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they came to the decision to actually go for that. Because you would have had other backs that were ready to take over that
Yes.
position.
But if you look at
But
the
I think,
23, go
yeah,
for it, go for it.
I just think because we already had Willemse in the starting lineup, I think the only
Yeah,
other option you would have had was to switch either Kirtley or Moody to full back and bring in Jesse Krill on the center, and then whoever to cover wing. If you're moving Kanan to fullback, you moving Kirtley can stay on the wing, and you just bring in Jesse at outside center. Or
personally, just on that
I
note,
just don't think we had too many other Oaks to put into that position.
but on that note, I think the fact that they started Moody at 13 and the way the backline was structured for this game, I think allowed us to make the 7-1 split, because Moody in that team and Willemse starting at 15 gave us the flexibility that Kwacha can come in and cover 6, 7, 8, 11 and 14 comfortably, and you're not losing sleep over that.
No. Look, if we had no, yeah, you're right. If we had a center injury, they would have either just moved Damian Willemse to inside and Estes into
Exactly.
outside, or
Exactly.
if it was Moody, they would move. Uh, oh, who do you move then to outside?
Estesen.
And you move Willemse to. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. All bases were covered. That's actually very true.
Exactly. So I wasn't worried. And then if your 9 gets injured, I think we could have played that team with Jesse Creel on the bench, and as opposed to Cobus Reinhoff, because I feel that if our 9 were to get injured, Colby, oh no, he didn't play her.
No, it wasn't him. It was my pimps and Kurtley.
Yeah, Kurt, but I think Kirtley's got some time at 9 as well. So I think
I don't think. I don't think so. I don't think so.
he's small, so there's got to be. I would say there's an element to him playing 9 somewhere in his life. I know it's international rugby, but you don't account for like injuries.
You just play Kwacha at 9. I'm pretty sure he played 9
Exactly.
at sevens a few times as well.
Kwacha he is the forward version of Franz Steyn.
Pretty much. I just wouldn't want to see him on lock. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
that would be a stretch, but we've got enough size. I mean, you'd put Dwayne into lock before you put Kwacha, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I would play him at hooker. I'll be honest. I'll play him at hooker, though. I think he would be very tenacious in the hooking position.
he would be tenacious anywhere in the park. I just think if you played him at 10, the ball wouldn't go past 10.
No, I
Because he
think he's
loves
got
it.
some nice distribution sometimes.
But he loves taking it up. Oh, I wasn't the biggest Kwacha fan when he got his start for the Boks, but since he's been a Bok player, I'm a fan. I'm a big Kwacha fan.
he brings a different element.
Yeah.
He brings something different. A very much a hybrid role in any role you want to play him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But yeah, so I mean, we had a skim over the Scotland SA game now. I just quickly want to go, obviously, on this side, and boy, was it fun watching South Africa play New Zealand at Twickenham in front of 80,000 plus people, to the very next day, England losing to Fiji at Twickenham in front of 40,000 very upset English fans.
Yeah,
And
look,
I
that's
watched
not.
it, just sorry to end that off, I watched it with the chairman of, I'm going to just say, not name which rugby club, but I watched it with the chairman of a rugby club in the area, and he made two very important points. And I think you'll give some good comments on this. So the first point he made was the English Rugby Union, I don't know what, the RU, they are not feeding back to the grassroots level, and apparently they're not telling the clubs what they want them to play like, what they want them to feed into the system, what areas they need to work on. And then secondly, me and him chatted, and I think this is crucial for an international side. They said if you look at England over the last few years, probably up until the last World Cup, they've lacked an identity. When you play England, what are you getting? You don't know. Are you getting
You
a
don't
physical
know.
game? Are you getting a running game? Are you getting a game that they milk you for threes? Are they the best defensive team in the world? There's absolutely none of that. Where you're playing the box, you're getting the best physical encounter you'll get in the world, and a team that can run it now. New Zealand running rugby, France flair. England they've got no identity.
Playing big defense now with France as well.
Absolutely. But I think those are valid points. England is just, and I mean, I'm saying it living this side with no disrespect, but they don't have an identity as a rugby team.
So what was interesting for me is the timing of them firing Eddie Jones. Now we know that Eddie Jones normally has a 4-year plan, and in all probability, he was just hiding everything England was doing for the World Cup. So to fire him in the year of the World Cup, I found baffling. Australia taking him on, even more baffling. But yeah, with Borthwick and his team there at the moment, England just look like they don't actually know what they're doing. It looks like Oaks that have been together for years and they should have some chemistry. It just looks like they don't actually know what they're supposed to do. It's baffling to me. I don't know what's going on. It's in complete disarray, but still, you would think in a World Cup somehow they normally somehow pull it together.
Yeah.
I saw that in 2007. It takes something to galvanize them, and then they just like, yeah, we're actually better than this, and they go.
But what you say is correct. Look, they got beaten by Fiji, right? Fiji as a nation, maybe it's relatable to us as South Africans. They're a nation that has to overcome the odds. I mean, they don't have it all going for them. It's not rosy all the time, and they've got that fire in the belly. Same with South Africans. I think it's innate to us that we've got that, and we're always trying to prove people wrong. We're better than they make South Africa out to be. I just feel this England side, what are they playing for at the moment? It looks like they don't know.
Mm, mm. Yeah, it's very strange to see. I mean, just pulling on your country's colors should be
Exactly.
enough to motivate you to. Well, in saying that, bro, we lost to Japan in 2015. These things happen. You get your lows, it's how you get up from them, which will
Yeah,
which will show what type of team you are. That is the
yeah,
one thing where I think Steve Borthwick could have an impact, is probably on the psyche of these English Oaks now, where he's like, okay, guys, we've literally hit rock bottom now.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can only go up from here. Let's just put in some performances. and they'll have to get off to absolute crackerjack because they're facing Argentina in the first game.
That's going to be a biggie.
And Argentina have been quietly, very quietly, building a core group of younger players mixed with the experienced players. And they're just flying in under the radar. No one is talking big about them. But we saw against South Africa that they can play. We saw against Australia they can sneak it at the death.
Let's not forget, in this last 4-year cycle, they recorded their first win over New Zealand as well.
In New Zealand as well.
Exactly. So
Or neutral ground, I can't remember, but that was massive.
So they a team now that can throw punches with the best of them. And look, they're still probably my outsiders, like my dark horses, as a team. Because as soon as you get that patriotism, that passion coming through from the Argentines, coupled with a bit of form, they could be a hell of a test come the quarters, semis, unknown territory for them.
Yeah. And you also just never know. So that whole side of the draw, there's so many unknowns.
Yes.
With Australia as well. Yes, they've lost 5 games or whatever in a row. That happens. Maybe they've tried out all of their combinations. Maybe they do have other things that they can do. And they were just like, oh, we just won't, we won't show everything now. Like, we know we can do it. It's just, let everyone think we are absolute garbage.
Could be a tactic.
We've seen Eddie Jones. We've seen Eddie Jones do these things. He's absolutely brilliant at what he does. And I just feel that they won't be going into this without knowing exactly what they want and need to do. I think he takes over a dressing room quickly, and he gets his oaks and he tells them what he wants, and eventually they will deliver that.
That's fair. I'm just going to make a note here. You don't have to give it to me now, but just for fun, what is your final going to be? I'll tell you mine now, and I'm going to back my dark horses. I'm going to say South Africa, Argentina final.
Have you actually looked at how this thing will pan out? From quarterfinal stages, because I think you've got it mixed up.
Yeah, we could have Arg in the semis. Yeah. Forgive me.
No, we can't. No. Yeah, in the semi. Yeah, we could have them in the semis. Yes, we could have them in the semis if we finish second in our group.
Okay, let's have a little look. See,
I think it was if we finish second, we will play. We're playing if we do.
So quarterfinals. So what pool is Argentina in?
D, if I'm not mistaken.
They're
in Group D.
No, that's pool. Oh, that's Uruguay or Arg.
No, that's Uruguay and Namibia.
Yeah, pool D, right?
Yeah. So
winner pool D, and we in pool
B, sorry.
B. Yeah, we in pool B.
If we finish second,
and
Argentina, because those two are playing together, winner pool C, runner pool D, winner pool A, winner pool B, runner up pool B. They playing in the semi-finals against each other. So winner pool A is either going to be France or New Zealand, in all probability.
Yeah.
Runner up pool B is either going to be us, Ireland, or Scotland, in all probability.
It might be. I think we can be realistic and say Scotland have to do a lot. So just for ease of games, we can probably just say Ireland or us.
Yeah. Okay. Then winner pool D will be Argentina or England or Samoa. And then runner-up Pool C will be either Fiji, Wales, or Australia, probably.
So we could theoretically get Arg.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna get them.
we
Yeah.
could. We could get them in the semi if we finish second in our pool.
Okay.
I don't want us to finish second in our pool.
Yeah, I think we'll top the pool. I'm being quietly confident. Okay. Well, yeah, it's there. I think, who knows? I'm gonna stick with it. The rugby gods will answer it. I say Argentina, South Africa.
In the final.
Yeah.
In the final or the semi-final or final?
Final.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm going a route that I see a lot of people have gone. I'm going to say, and hopefully this would be the dream match, if I'm being honest. Well, as a South African, 100%. I'm saying South Africa, France final.
Ooh, in France.
Yeah.
Vive la Bleu.
Viva le bleu.
That would
This is the
be.
green machine, bro. It would
This is going
be.
to be such a big one, though. It's 8 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time, that kickoff.
We have our Potjiekos competition on that same day, so
Oh! That
yeah.
could be huge.
So I mean, that could be prime time if the boys can deliver. I mean, it would make it extra special.
Shit,
Extra special.
I don't think I've looked forward to a Rugby World Cup like this one.
No, there's so many permutations. There's so many things that can happen.
Yeah.
We are going to see upsets. There's going to be upsets, and
Yeah.
well, I just don't know where it's going to come from. There's so many different options.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's so exciting. Oh my word. And there's going to be even the minnows these days are just like they're playing good enough rugby that I don't see. Remember in the World Cup, you'd see that one game that was like a blowout, like 80 or 19-0 or something like that. Do you see that still happening? I think the minnows
I
are
don't think that much, but I think we will see one or two big scores.
like 40s and 50s, perhaps.
No, I think we'll see a few 60s, perhaps maybe Romania, Portugal, Chile in their first ever World Cup. You never know how it's going to go. I'm sure the Oaks will play with heart and things, but well, who knows? Who knows? Look, the tier 2 nations have definitely caught up.
Yeah.
Especially with the eligibility rules where they have added a bit of class into a lot of the teams. But the big thing with especially the Pacific Nation teams is they've actually started to play more structured, and they actually have nice structure in their scrums and their lineouts, which leads to mauling and things like that, just to make sure that they can actually nullify these things and also compete so that they don't give away the unnecessary penalties, because that was normally what knocked them down, is their set plays were terrible.
Yeah. What?
So yeah, there's big chances of big upsets, and that's something that I think we can't understate. I mean, Samoa is a very good team. Fiji is a very good. Fiji is the
Fiji
top
with
ranked
Australia
team.
and Wales.
They are the top ranked team in that group.
Yeah, but
Fiji are
Fiji are
ranked
with
number
Australia and
7.
Wales.
Yeah,
I can easily see them making, well, easy. I can see them making that through that group,
yeah,
because I think I don't back Australia and Wales to both find form. I think one
no,
is going to fall by the wayside. I think
yeah,
one is
I
going to
agree.
kick on, and then I think one is going to fall by the wayside. But Fiji, look up for it. This win against England are definitely going to put them in a good space. So I think it's there for the taking for them to at least get into the quarters, and that's going to be a hell of a
If they
quarter.
start off with a bang expect some fireworks.
Yeah.
I think. Like I say, that's what I'm saying. Even Samoa taking Ireland to the brink. The other day, they with England and Argentina. So if they can somehow galvanize to put one over England, you could easily even see Samoa making it into a quarterfinal. Even in our group, that's why I'm saying Group B, you've got Tonga in there as well. They've already got wins over Wales and teams like that. They've got the shocks in them, and again, they are not a bad side at all.
When on Sunday, it's South Africa, Scotland at 4:45, Wales, Fiji at 8 o'clock. Come on.
It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a lovely weekend.
And this is in the weekend where we're missing Premier League, so it's just a little poly for that.
Look, I've got a wedding to go to, so I mean, I'm going to definitely have to manage my time perfectly. But
do you have a wedding on Sunday?
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yeah, no, Sunday is lockdown, bro. Sunday is on lockdown. There's one thing you're doing on Saturday.
Sunday it's England, Argentina. I mean, Saturday it's England, Argentina. That's going to be a goodie.
Oof, that's going to be. At what time is that? I'll definitely have the DSTV now or stream going there at some stage. Just
8 p.m.
I'm pretty sure we'll also have it on somewhere. I mean,
yeah. Just
we throw down op 'n final. At least, well, it's not a final, but yeah.
No, we'll make a plan. I just think let's save some chit chat for the next episode. But the one thing I wanted to run by you, and if you've made it this far, let us know in the comments. But I think we should try to reach out to Jaco Paper and get him to just acknowledge the show, just somehow, bro, with a tweet or something.
Do you have this? What is a tweet? Isn't it an X now? I mean, I don't know. I don't know
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know, bro. Have you ever used Twitter or anything like that in your lifetime?
Not in years. Oh, who said how's it, Papes?
Maurice Jonker.
Maurice Jonker, maybe get him to say it.
Listen, I mean, at some stage, yes, but I mean, these oaks are at the World Cup now. Let them do their thing. We'll definitely at some stage nibble, put some bait in the water and try and get a nibble or two.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking that would be so sick. So
100%. Cool. Get some proper insight.
Definitely.
Additional insight.
Making our goal for episode 100 to try and get them on.
Yes, if we don't by then, I mean, if we make it to 100, that would be quite something. So, if by then we're not able to get that caliber, then we're in trouble.
World Cup 2031.
Where's that going to be? Have they decided yet?
No clue. Yeah, by that stage, I think Papes will be a couch pundit like me and you.
Well, or you'll be on some elite panel somewhere judging referees or something. Most probably.
Okay, well, I think we've checked all the angles.
Look, I think we've checked enough angles. I think we could call this one checking enough angles because there's definitely so many more angles to check with the start of this World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And as I always try and say, in the wise words of the people there at SA Rugby, box by 10, at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. See you next week.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Let's have a good week. Enjoy the build-up and enjoy the start.
Come on, Boca.
Let's go, boys.